A very good afternoon to everyone. So now we'll start with our second technical session. For this technical session, we have with us Shri Vidyut Barua sir, AGM at Ministry of Commerce, APIDA. We welcome you, sir.
First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Ananda Ramakrishnan, Director IFPT, Director Indian Institute of Horticulture Research, Dr. B.N. Srinivasa Murthy, distinguished panelists, participants. It's an honor on my part to be invited to speak in this program, especially for tomato. As you are all aware that we are the second largest producer of fruits and vegetables in the world. And we have exported this fruits and vegetable from our country, but there is huge scope. The tomato is one of the product that has got a lot of scope for export, especially to the neighboring countries. And today my presentation, basically, I'd like to speak to you once you grow the product, you have to market it. So how you can market it? Either in fresh form or in the form of process form or value addition. So that is very important. And what is the scenario in the world scenario regarding tomato? How trading of tomato is going on? So that we must know. So this will help you to understand what way you should proceed. As you know that we have a very favorable climatic condition to grow tomato. So all the states of our country, they used to grow. So this tomato grown in one place is also transported to other parts of the country. Some states are there where the climatic situation is different from rest of India. Like we have seen in northeastern region, where you can grow off-season tomato, which has got very good demand. But tomato, since in northeastern states there is heavy rainfall, so sometimes it is very difficult. But during winter, mostly they grow. But during summertime, they get the tomato from other places. We'll discuss in detail because APIDA is an organization under Ministry of Commerce, which is promoting export. So our mandate is only for export. So I'll inform you regarding the export scenario of this product. So I'll share my presentation. So I would like to speak about APIDA. APIDA, as you know, this is an export promotion body under Ministry of Commerce, Government of India. Which was created by passing an act in the parliament, which started functioning since 1986. We have our head office in Delhi, and we have recently opened a few more regional offices in different parts of our country. Earlier, we had 5 regional offices, which was located in Mumbai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Guwahati, and Kolkata. But recently, we have opened office in Ahmedabad, Varanasi, Chandigarh, Bhopal, Chennai, Kochi, and Jammu and Kashmir. So we have recently opened this office to cater to the local need of the exporters of that region. So what is the role of APIDA? So APIDA, since it's an export promotion body, our main mandate is bridging the gap between the buyer and the seller. Please understand that we are not a commercial organization, so we do not get involved in selling or buying any product. So how we help it? First of all, the exporters are registered with APIDA, and in that case, they require certain documents to be submitted for registration, which you can see it in our website, like import-export code number, which is very important in case of if you are willing to export or import anything, which is issued by DGFT. We perform as a regulatory body in case of meat and meat product export, for which you go for inspection of this plant. Then we also help, we provide financial assistance for development of infrastructure and handling and storage, like pack house. I'll cover in detail regarding that. Market development is very important. And so this is the main role of APIDA to provide a platform to link the exporter with the importer. There are a lot of things that needs to be followed. And in this regard, we conduct a lot of training program with the help of state government, with the help of other agency. And so there is regular that kind of training activities are conducted through some other agency, like even through the agriculture university or some institution. Uh, we conduct different program. We have also conducted various program with IFPT in northeastern states, and development of industry, basically for promotion of our product. So we carry out various programs. The different product that we handle, because all the products we do not handle, like in case of plantation crop, we do not handle. So these doesn't come under APIDA, but fresh fruits and their product, meat, poultry, dairy, confectionery, honey, cocoa, and its product, alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages, cereal products, groundnut and peanut and walnut. Even now, recently, this your cashew nut has been inducted into our product promotion program. Pickle, chutney, guargam, floriculture and floriculture product, herbal and medicinal plants. So these are the different commodities. This is for the namesake. This is 14, 15 commodity. We have just named it. But on the basis of HS code, so there will be 770 plus product that we are trying to promote from our country. What is the global scenario about agri trade? So basically, you can see that this is the data of World Trade Organization of 2019. So our export share is 2.1%. We rank ninth, and the value is 37 billion. Now it has gone up. Import is 1.1%. The rank is 12, and value is 20.2 billion. This is the global agri trade and India's position. And in the slide, we'd like to show you the total agri trade merchandise export is 291.8 billion. This is about our country, 291.8 billion. Export of agri products, including cotton, the total export is $41.25 billion. The share of agri products is 14.1%. And the scheduled product of APIDA, which we have already shown you, the share is 50.1%. This is $20.67 billion. So APIDA product share is 50.1% in case of export of agri products. Among the APIDA products, you can see here the share of different products. The cereal contributes maximum, 49%, followed by animal products. So animal products like buffalo meat, even goat, sheep, so all different kind of meat is 18%. Then other processed food products, 17%. Then fresh fruits and vegetable is 6%, and processed vegetable is 7%. Floriculture 1%, cashew 2%. So all these different commodities together, its total export is 20.67 billion. So this is where our maximum export is going. This is the top 10 country where our export is going. Is Saudi Arabia, Bangladesh, UAE, USA, Hong Kong, Nepal, Malaysia, Vietnam, Iraq, and Iran. So to all these countries, it is going. So let us speak about the fresh fruits and vegetables. So fresh fruits, vegetable is also, this is the production, the quantity in terms of 1000 MT and value is USD million dollars. So among these top 10 products, the this tomato comes at around, its position is ninth. So total export, you can see the tomato export is also, it's going up. So this is 32.81 during. So export is sometimes going down and up like that. So it's not steady, but anyway, it is staying in this level. You can see during COVID period also, our performance is very good, that we have been able to enhance our export. So top 10 tomato producing countries are China number 1, India is number 2, then Turkey, USA, Egypt, Italy, Iran, Spain, Mexico. So our position is second, and next after this China. And the states which are, the position is Andhra Pradesh is number one, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, Gujarat, Orissa, West Bengal, Telangana, Chhattisgarh, Maharashtra, Bihar. This is top 10 states as per the NHB data of 2017-18. So let us focus on tomato since it is the topic of today's discussion. So basically, in case of export of tomato, it is exported in these five different forms. It is exported in fresh or chill form. The number here 07020000. It is called HS code. So HS code is this way you have to export. And tomato juice, tomato ketchup and sauce, tomato seeds, tomato prepared preserved by vinegar, acetic acid, in whole form or in pieces. So this is in different form. Export is happening from our country. So in case of international trade on tomato, especially the fresh and chill, you can see the major importers are USA, Germany, France, UK, Russia. So this is the total quantity, how much they import, and what is the share of India. You can see the India's share is very less. It is 0.14%. So we rank 33rd position, but major exporters are Mexico, Netherlands, Spain, Morocco, Canada. So you can see in USA, Mexico is because just they are neighboring countries, so they can export. Then Canada is another neighboring country, they are exporting. And major importer is USA, so they are importing. So this is about the fresh fruit, fresh tomato in fresh form or chill form. So in case of processed, you can see which is exported. Major importer is UK, Germany, France, Japan, Canada. In case of export of processed tomato, we have not been able to do much. Our share is 0.01 only. However, Italy, Spain, USA, Germany, Turkey, they are dominating. So this is where we have also a lot of scope to enter to this country with our different kind of value-added product. And I was fortunate to see some presentation made, especially Dr. S. Bhuvneshwari. She had displayed different kind of processed pineapple tomato product. That is very interesting. Maybe new entrepreneur can try that kind of product and we can promote it. So that may be having demand in the international market. In our situation, how India is doing, like India's export of tomato in fresh and chill form. You can see Bangladesh is our major importer. So our export to Bangladesh is also increasing. Then UAE, then Nepal, Oman, Qatar, Maldives, Bhutan, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain. So all these countries, especially there is a good demand for our tomato, fresh form or chill form in our neighboring country, as you can see from here. The Nepal also, you can see there is an increase in export. In case of Maldives, which is also our neighboring country, there is also increase in export. Then Bhutan, you can see. So Bhutan also there was export during 2020-21. So there's a good demand for this product in our next market, the neighboring countries market. So this is a very good opportunity for export of this product to our neighboring country since there is a good demand and our export is also going up. If you see the overall export, so overall export is also, of course, it has gone down, but fortunately the export to our neighboring country is, going up. So this is a good scenario for us. Similarly, the tomato preserved by vinegar acetic acid, this export is also going on, but not much. But anyway, the Nepal is importing. They are the number one importer. Bhutan again, our neighboring country, Bangladesh. So all our neighboring country, they are into import of even our processed tomato also. Ketchup and tomato sauce. In this form, you can see USA is number one importer. So we are exporting to USA. And Nepal again, UK, Philippines, Canada, Singapore, Australia, Malaysia. So all these countries, they are importing from us. So there's a top 10 list I am giving here. But overall export, you can see there is a very encouraging of export of tomato ketchup and sauce. So in during 2020-21, the total amount value was $7.93 million export of this product. And that too, number one importer is USA, but Nepal is also importing good quantity from us. Tomato seeds also has got good demand in the international market. So that is also exported to different countries. Netherlands is number one, USA is number two, Korea, Kenya, Italy, Thailand. So we have got a lot of scope for export of seeds, tomato seeds. So good quality tomato seeds can be exported to this country. There is a demand. So demand is also increasing. You can see here. In 2021, we have done very well as compared to 2019-20. So what APIDA has done, as APIDA is an export promotion body under Ministry of Commerce. So our role comes only when the produce is ready and we can link them up with the buyer. So what we have observed that in case of export, you need to have a regular supply. So to enhance our export, we must have a proper production base. Now we are going for ODOP. This is something is happening. So Ministry of Commerce also has introduced Agri-Export Policy. This policy is basically to enhance export. There is a target set. So presently it is 30 billion. Now our target by 2020 we must reach to $60 billion, and then we have to reach to $100 billion. So this is the target that already been set up. So in this regard, for implementation of Agri-Export Policy, we are working with the state government. So all are working together along with the different departments so that export can be enhanced. So how we can enhance our export? One is to diversify our export basket. Secondly, destination. We can change the destination. We can find out new product for new market. So this is, or we with the value-added product, we can reach to different markets. So this is one of the focus thing that we have in our mind. For we are working on that. Some products which has never we tried to export. So those kind of product we have tried to identify, like indigenous products, few states they may be having. Now we have exported various new product that we have identified from the states. So new commodities has been identified. We are working with the state government. State government is informing us about their product. We are trying to explore the market, and we have got there is a good demand for such product. And we are trying to reach out to those markets. So like fresh fruits and vegetable, we have different lychee. We have in Bihar different varieties of lychee that we are trying to export. Among the mango, also different mangoes that we have in the state of, for example, West Bengal that we try to export. So even rice from South India, even the floriculture, some flowers, jasmine flowers, that also we try to export from our country this time. So indigenous product, organic product, ethnic product, traditional, non-traditional agri products we are trying to export. So even GI products also we tried to export. So this is what is going on. Provide an institution mechanism for pursuing the market access, uh, tackling the trade barriers. So these are the activities that we are carrying out, so that we have an easy access to different markets. So we are through different ministry, through our embassies, we are taking up the matters with different countries, especially to the issue like sanitary and phytosanitary issues. Uh, so especially to export more, to double our export, we are into interacting with global value chain at the earliest, and enabling the farmers to get benefit of export opportunity in the overseas market. So we are working more with the FPOs, FPCs, or cooperatives with them, so that they can be taught about the export and the requirement, different kind of the requirement of different countries, different kind of quality requirement. So these farmers should understand. So for them, we are conducting different kind of training program. So in this regard, the farmers are provided a portal which APIDA has. It is called Farmers Connect portal. Here, the farmers has got advantage that they can register here. It is a 24/7 service that we provide. In this, they have to register. The registration is very simple, and they can use their mobile also, even the computer. So they can just upload the portal, and then they can get registered, and it will help to bridge the gap between the FPO, FPC cooperatives and exporters. So the farmers, after they get registered, or FPO, FPC cooperatives, they get registered, they can get connected with the exporters. They can inform about their product, various products available with them, and that they can quote the price, and exporter can directly contact them without involving any middleman. So similarly, FPO, FPC cooperatives can make their profile and post a sale it. And then exporters can post enquiries and view matching sellers offer. So exporter also can post their requirement, and similarly their requirement, and similarly the farmers, they can contact the exporters. So this is a platform to make contact between the producer and the buyer, which is working for 24 hours. Apart from that, APIDA is also providing financial assistance schemes. This financial assistance scheme covers mostly the development of infrastructure. Infrastructure, as you know, we are handling the perishable commodities. To maintain the quality, we need to have a pack house, refrigerated van, or even for processing also, we can provide financial assistance. In case of existing processing facility, if they require financial assistance for to install some special machine that will improve their performance as well as improve the quality of their product, in that case they can get assistance from APIDA. They'll have to get registered with APIDA as a member, and then after that they can apply. So similarly, quality plays a very important role, because international market is very sensitive in case of quality. So for maintaining the quality, they can go for certification like ISO, HACCP, etc. So for that, we can provide assistance, even for training like GAP certification, etc. So for that also, we provide financial assistance. Even for upgradation of laboratory, APIDA provide financial assistance. This can also be provided to the private sector. So individual exporters, they can have their own laboratory for testing. So under that, financial assistance are provided. And market development, there is an assistance for that. So participation in trade fair, etc., are covered, or holding some trade fair in domestic market in India, or organizing buyer-seller meet, or organizing reverse buyer-sellers meet, where we invite the importers from abroad to our country, and they are taken to our exporters or our FPO, FPC who display their product, and they directly interact with them. So this is a platform that is created. But because of the COVID now, what happened, this activities is not being carried out. But however, we have not stopped there. What we have done, now we have organized virtual mode, this kind of program. So in association with embassies of India or High Commission of India, we are conducting this virtual buyer seller meet. So what is done, the embassy, they used to import their importers, invite their importers, and APIDA invite our exporters. They interact in the virtual platform. They speak about their requirement, and exporters also speak about the commodity that they are handling and where they are exporting. So there is a exchange of dialogue between the importer and exporter that is being facilitated through this virtual buyer sellers meet platform. Apart from that, we are also holding the virtual trade fair, since physical meeting is not possible at this moment. So virtual trade fair is the place which is just like a physical kind of program, where the exporters, they display their different kind of product, and the importers who are invited through our embassies, they can come, they can see different kind of products, they can interact with the exporters, and they can start negotiating and start export. So this is another platform that we have created presently in a virtual mode for to facilitate export from our country. This financial assistance schemes of EPIDA is for the year 2021-25. This we have, which is about to be approved by the ministry. Will have advantage for the exporters, especially the exporters who are in a landlocked area. So there they can get assistance up to 75% for all this, like development of infrastructure or quality development, and ceiling up to 2 crore. Especially for infrastructure development, we can provide 75%. Even we can also provide assistance to the public sector for where EPIDA will be providing 90% with a ceiling of 6 crore. This scheme, once it is approved, we'll host it in our website, www.epida.gov.in. So this guideline will be available very soon. So coming back to tomato, how we can promote. So this is where we can organize, like we can organize buyer-sellers meet or reverse buyer-sellers meet as I have discussed. So for any trade fair, even if it is happening physically or in the domestic sector, the exporter can display their products, or the participants can display their different kind of products, and so buyer can come and meet. So organic sector also has got a lot of scope. So organic product can also be promoted, like organic tomato or conventional tomato in international trade fair where EPIDA participates. So if the situation improves, then EPIDA will participate in different international trade fair. Normally, EPIDA used to participate in different international trade fair. Maybe about 15, 20 big trade fair where EPIDA used to participate. And we provide a space to our exporters, a build up space to our exporter to display their product and facilitate them to interact with the international buyers who come to participate in that trade fair. Actually, I would like to inform you regarding that after participation in such kind of fair, whatever the response that we get, we used to post it in our website. So the people, those who cannot go, they can see the list and they can start interacting with the international buyers. So tomato-based clusters can be created to cater to the domestic and international market. Agri-Export Policy implemented by Ministry of Commerce, as I have already mentioned. The infrastructure in private sector can be created with assistance from EPIDA, state government, and other government agencies. Capacity building program can be done for FPO, FPC, cooperatives, startup, and exporters with exposure visit can be organized. So EPIDA used to organize exposure visit for the states which are not active in case of export. We take them to different places where maximum export is going on, like in Maharashtra and all. So that they can see, they can understand the procedure required for export, and they can make themselves ready to start export. The outreach program for connecting growers with exporter can also be conducted by EPIDA if we focus on tomato. So this is all about this, how we can promote for what EPIDA can offer. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an informative session. So now we'll move to our next technical talk, which is on PMFME scheme guidelines and its features. For this talk, we have with us Dr. V.R. Sinija ma'am, Professor and Head at IFPT. We welcome you, ma'am.
So, respected Chairman, sir, and dear participants, very good afternoon to one and all present here. I'll just briefly explain about the PMFME scheme. Actually, from morning onwards, our director, sir, as well as our chief guest was mentioning about this scheme. This scheme is started with the objectives of increased access to the credit by existing micro food processing entrepreneurs, FPOs, self-help groups, and other cooperatives, and also increased access to the professional and technical details of this food processing sector, which they may be lacking. That may be the major lacuna for the upgradation of these micro food processing enterprises, and also giving them proper training as well as capacity building activities and guidelines for registration, like MSME registration or FSSA registrations, and what are the guidelines to be followed. All these things will be given to them as well as the workers in these micro food processing enterprises, and also increased access to the common services like common processing facilities, laboratories, common storage facilities, etc. And in that way, supporting 2 lakh micro food processing enterprises to come to the formal sector within a span of 5 years' time. This is the major objective of this PMFME scheme. And if you see the scheme features, it's a collaborative scheme by the central as well as the state government, with the financial sharing of 60-40 for all the states other than the northeastern states, where for the northeastern states the sharing pattern is 90 from the central scheme and 10% is contributed by the respective state or union territory. And also the total outlay of this scheme is 10,000 crores for the 5 years starting from 2021 to 24-25. Already the scheme is started and 1 year successfully completed. And scheme also offers special coverage for the SC/ST categories for capacity building activities, and also support for the farmer producer organizations as well as SSG groups and cooperatives in this food processing sector. So what are the benefits of this scheme? This is, as I mentioned earlier, it is the upgradation of the existing micro enterprises. They are getting a credit-linked subsidy at the rate of 35%, and the maximum ceiling for the individual beneficiaries, it is limited as 10 lakhs. And also the support for FPOs and SSGs and cooperatives, where they can also avail the credit-linked capital investment grant at the rate of 35%, but there is no limit for them. Like individual beneficiaries, 10 lakh is the limit, but for the groups, there is no limit. Depending upon their annual turnover for the last 3 years, that limit can be fixed. So they can apply for any higher amounts also. And apart from that, there is another important feature of this scheme is that a seed capital of rupees 40,000 is given to the members of the self-help groups. This is a very attractive thing which they can utilize for purchasing some tools, working tools and all. And also another important attractive feature of this scheme is the marketing and branding support. 50% grant is given for this also. And the ODOP approach, which from morning we were telling, to promote the local products across the country, and also to publicize it even in the international market. This approach has been selected, and each state has find out in collaboration with their agriculture departments as well as food processing departments. The products, commodities were identified for their particular districts, and then that products we are trying to popularize through this scheme. So whoever is applying for the benefit of this scheme newly, they can apply under this ODOP project, and whoever is already existing as the micro food processing enterprises, they can avail the benefit in whatever products they are processing. There need not be ODOP product. Then coming to the administrative architecture of the scheme, national level, there is the interministerial empowered committee chaired by the Honorable Minister of Food Processing Industries. And then state level, there is a committee chaired by the Chief Secretary, and they're having the power to sanction the amount up to 10 lakhs. And district level, again, there is a committee chaired by the district collector, and your individual applications, it is going to that individual district level committee, and from there only it will be scrutinizing initially. So then if needed, that depending upon the amount which you are applying, the project may transfer to the state level committee or the national level committee for the approval. And apart from the interministerial committee at the national level, ministry level, there is a project executive committee and also a project management unit and a committee for the capacity building activities, where NIFTM and IFPT, the two national institutes working under the ministry, they are only playing a major role. And then in each state, there will be a state level nodal agency as well as a state level technical institute who will be supporting in the implementation of this capacity building and training activities at the respective states. And apart from that, district level committee is there, and also district resource persons. They are the key persons in this scheme who will be hand-holding the beneficiaries for applying the scheme and for getting it this DPRs done, or converting the DPR into a bankable project. All these helps will be done by this district resource persons. And the pattern of assistance, I already mentioned, like for upgradation of your existing micro enterprises or to start a new enterprises under the ODOP, there is 35% subsidy is there. And also non-ODOP people, they can apply for the upgradation or expansion of their units. And the supports like hand-holding will be given by the district resource person in preparation of DPR, bank loan, and also they will be giving the trainings, and they will be advised how to go for the registration. Like I already mentioned, FSSA, GST, Udyami, other registrations, and how to go for the marketing. All these helps will be, or assistance will be given to the micro food processing enterprises. Now, how to apply for this scheme? Already so many applications, nearly 6,000 applications we have received in the ministry for this PMFME scheme. Now, first I'll tell you for the individual beneficiaries. It is the online application. You can just log on to this website, ministry website, PMFME website, and with your Aadhaar, you can register your name in the website, and then once you registered, you'll be getting a login and password, and then with that login and password, you can enter into this site and then fill the details one by one and upload your DPR, and then it will be verified by this district resource persons in the respective districts of the states, and then they will be forwarding these applications to the respective banks wherever you are interested to avail this loan. So the maximum subsidy amount is 10 lakhs. That means suppose you are submitting a project for 30 lakhs rupees, 10 lakhs rupees will be the subsidy amount given to you from the scheme, and 10% of the total project cost you have to invest as your own contribution. That is, if 30 lakhs project means 3 lakhs you need to invest as your own contribution, and then remaining 17 lakhs you will be availing from the bank as a term loan. So that facility is also there. You need not go for any other branch separately for availing that term loan also. That is the beauty of this scheme. Then for that is for the individual beneficiaries, whether it is existing or a new entrepreneur, that is the procedure to be followed. And for FPOs, SSGs and cooperatives, actually, I mentioned earlier, they're also subsidy ceiling, like 35% is the rate of subsidy they will be availing, but they can avail it based on their last 3 years annual turnover, and also this 40,000 each for the SSG members who are registered under the National Rural Livelihood Mission, NRLM. These SST groups are registered under NRLM, means they can avail this working capital also for purchasing small tools and all. So their application, it is an offline application. It is not online. They can prepare the DPR, that is detailed project report, and then submit it to the state nodal agency if the amount is less than 10 lakhs. And if it is for more amount, means you can submit it directly to the ministry. And for seed capital, actually, from the state level rural livelihood mission, they will be submitting the list of the SSTs registered under them to the chief secretary of that state, and then they will scrutinize the activities for the last few years, and then they will decide to whom to give this subsidy. And then that disbursement of this amount for the seed capital, that also through the state level rural hood lively mission department only, it is handling these activities. Now coming to the scheme, one of the important component of this scheme is the creation of incubation facilities. The objective is that a common incubation facility in that particular district to support the ODOP products as well as some allied products based on the raw material available in that area. And this common incubation facility can be utilized on a commercial basis by any beneficiary who is there in the districts. And we can also use this common facility as the training center or for the capacity building activities of various schemes, either central or state government schemes also. So in this incubation center, actually, we are asking to include the primary, secondary, and tertiary processing facilities, storage facilities, as well as the effluent treatment plants or waste utilization facilities also to be included. And for establishment of this common incubation center, we have divided these entire commodities into these categories like food grains, where rice, wheat, pulses are included, then oil seeds separately, millet, fruit and vegetables, tuber crops, fish and marine products, dairy, spices, plantation crops, and also we included minor forest produce targeting the tribal population. So this incubation center, you can propose it like a first thing, what is the ODOP of that particular district where you want to establish the incubation center? That ODOP processing line one you can propose. Apart from that, 2 or 3 allied lines based on the raw material availability of that district, you can, and nearby districts, you can propose that one. So this incubation center, actually anybody can apply for this incubation center. Whoever is applying, they are known as the host institute, because this host institute can be any government organization or any R&D institutes or any government funded or any even the private agencies, they can also apply. So whoever is applying to establish this incubation center, they are known as the host institute. And then the common norms fixed for cost norms fixed for this establishment of incubation facility is like processing lines, 200 lakhs, you can purchase the equipment. Then for renovation of this building, if existing building is the renovation of that one, or if any auxiliary units like boilers, RO plants or effluent treatment plants are needed, for that you can have some 50 lakhs. And then for the basic food testing of your product which you are processing using this common incubation facility, for that some 25 lakhs. So totally 275 lakhs is the cost norms approved for establishment of this common incubation facility. These are the basic equipments which you need to find out the nutritional composition of the products and also the microbial load of the products. So these simple equipments, if you are having already these equipments, the host institute, whoever is applying for this incubation center, if they are having these facilities at their institute, means they need not go for this 25 lakhs. They can purchase some whichever commodity they are processing or whichever product they are manufacturing. For that some particular testing facilities needed, means they can go for that one also. And initial phases, actually last year itself we started, so 54 incubation centers already sanctioned under this scheme to various states, and some states, nearly 20 states and 3 union territories already availed the benefits of this scheme. Some states are getting 2 or 3 incubation centers. The ultimate aim is that every state will be having some common processing facilities which the farmers or any groups or any beneficiary, any entrepreneur can make use of this service. Institutes with existing building facilities we considered initially, and now the second phase is going on, where we are giving even the funding for construction of infrastructure, that is the building construction also. 1 crore we are giving for the construction of building also. And the funding pattern will be like, if you are a government organization, then you can avail 100% funding from the PMFME scheme for establishing this incubation center. And if you're a private agency and you are establishing this center at the tribal area, then 60-40 is the contribution, 40% from the private and 60% from the scheme. And if you are establishing this incubation center, private party establishing it other than tribal districts, then it is 50-50% share. So what are the roles of the host institute? The host institute has to arrange the required land, building, other basic amenities like water, electricity, all these things to be assured by the host institute. And they have to establish this incubation center following the cost norms prepared by Government of India, that is Ministry of Food Processing Industries. And then they have to lend it on a rental basis, like they have to give it to a third party, leased to a third party who can run this incubation center on a commercial basis. And they can fix some user charges. Whoever is using this one, they can ask them to pay the charges, and there's some understanding between the host institute and the person who is running this one, because the ministry don't want to run it as a separate department of the host institute. Okay. And also there is an option for the mentoring institute. If you if the host institute need to have a mentor, because they don't have expertise in that particular field where they are establishing this incubation center, they can make use of this mentoring institute service also. Who can be the mentor institute? The mentor institute can be any CSIR, ICR, or any other research institution who is having experience or expertise in that particular processing line, which you are going to establish under this common incubation center. So they can support in purchasing the machineries, establishment of this thing. And also in the future, if any incubator is coming to use this incubation center, they can provide the technical support also to convert their ideas into value-added products from that incubation center. center. This is the mentor institute. If the host institute is having the expertise in their institute itself, then you not go for the mentoring institute also. And the application procedure, actually in the IFPT PMFME portal, there is a separate link for the submitting the application. Online DPR, that is detailed project report, is needed. So in that, you need to include all these details like host institute details, how is the connectivity of the proposed location, and what are the lines you are proposing, the cost breakup, how you are planning to use the waste, and what is the demand for that processing facility at that particular area, how the marketing linkages, what is the feasibility, who all will be going to utilize this facility on an yearly basis. Like all these details should be included in the DPR. Some model DPRs already available in our website. You can go through that one and you can just customize that DPRs for your processing lines, and you can submit the DPR for the incubation center. Anybody who is interested, who is attending, any institute representatives or any private agency or any farmer producer organization who are interested, they can apply for this incubation center under this scheme. Okay. And then also this DPR should be forwarded through the state level nodal agency. A recommendation from the state level nodal agency is also requested. So this is regarding the incubation center component of the PMFME scheme. Now coming to the capacity building component, where we are offering the different types of trainings, mainly the product specific training as well as entrepreneurship development trainings we are offering. In that knowledge on the machinery, how to procure the raw material, how to handle it, how to pack it, what are the technologies for value addition, all these details should be included in the product specific training. And entrepreneurship development, we are involving all the managerial skills and how to prepare the DPR, how to go for various registrations. All these things are included in the entrepreneurship development. So due to the pandemic situation, now we are going for the online classes, and also when the training comes to the lower level or bottom level, like actual beneficiaries, it is the hands-on training or practical demonstrations, like offline training mode is also following. So who all can avail this training or various capacity building activities? Individual micro food processing entrepreneurs who are availing this scheme, and individual existing micro food processing enterprises, but they are not availing the loan or under this scheme, but they can avail the capacity building activities, or they can attend the trainings and get benefited. Then workers in these enterprises and members of the SSTs, FPOs, and then government officials who are implementing this scheme in the respective states, their resource persons, all these people can avail the benefit of these various levels of training offered under this scheme. Actually, there are different tier system we are following in this scheme. This is working out very well. First, we are starting with the master level trainers. They are actually the experts who are having some experience in this food processing sector. So we categorized this various capacity building activities under this 9 subdomains of the food processing, like fruits and vegetable, milk, fish, bakery and confectionery, grain, fat and oil seeds, spices and plantation crops, minor forest produce, meat and poultry, like that. So national level institutes who are having expertise on these various domains, we are taking help from that, and IFPT and NIFTM is coordinating this one. NIFTM is doing the entrepreneurship development training throughout the country, and IFPT is coordinating the product specific training. So at the then it is like initially we will train the master trainers, and these trainers are designated by the state level nodal agency. Each state, we mentioned earlier, each state there is a state nodal agency who will be implementing the scheme in that particular state. For example, Tamil Nadu Agri-Marketing Department is the state nodal agency, and the Karnataka CAPEC is the nodal agency. Andhra Pradesh Food Processing Society, like that. Different state level nodal agencies are there. Then once the master trainers are trained and they are assessed by a third party, FIXI is the third party here we are utilizing for the assessment. Then once they are qualified, they can offer training to the district level trainers. So this district level trainers, once they become qualified, they will offer the training to the beneficiaries at the classroom level. Okay. Then coming to the eligibility, there is actually, as per the National Skill Development Council, certain eligibilities and certain criteria are there for the certification, because whoever is qualifying or attending this training, they have to get the certificate. So minimum hours required for some particular training like that. So all these formalities we are following in this also. Coming to the district level trainers also, eligibility and experience will be little bit lower than the master level trainers, but the number of hours duration is more. There it was 40 hours, means here it was 64 hours, because we are concentrating more on the ODOP part, like one district, one product. We are concentrating more on the district level training. And the beneficiary also, existing beneficiaries, new beneficiaries, some hours are specifically distinguished, and syllabus is framed by IFPT with the help of expert committee for all these categories of training. Okay. And then coming to the ODOP training material, actually in the initial morning session, somebody was asking about the DPR, where they can get the DPR. So you can go to IAFPT's website. I'll show you the website also. Now, totally from these 36 states and union territories of our country, some 137 ODOPs are identified under this scheme, covering nearly 707 districts across the country. So out of that, 92 ODOPs are uploaded in our website. It includes the processing videos, processing and packaging and FSSA PPTs, like PowerPoint presentations, then reading materials, as well as detailed project reports on that particular product is uploaded. And now we are translating this into the regional languages depending upon the ODOP of that particular states. Like already all the videos are translated, like 172 videos are translated in all these 11 languages. That also you can freely download from our website. I'll show you. This is our website. So here you can see all the details, like so far how many master trainers are trained, and how many district level trainers are trained, and how many district resource persons are there qualified so far. And somebody asked about the where to get the details of the DRPs. This is the site where you can get details of the DRPs. You can see here, select the state. Suppose you want to all over the country, you want to know, you can select all. Or if you want to find a particular state, suppose Andhra, and you select which district you want to find out the district resource person. If I give all, these are the districts in Andhra, and 38 districts are there. These are the district resource person's name, email ID, phone number, and which districts they are the resource person for which districts. So all these details are available in this website itself. So you can make use of that one to get their help. And this is the capacity building portal. Here all these SNA login, like individual stage, they can nominate various training names. Everything can be done here. And district level trainer and master trainers, they can plan their things also. And this is the incubation center, where here is the option for submitting your new DPR for applying a new incubation center. You can click here, and these are the guidelines, and these are the model DPRs. You can click here, download the model DPR. Then as based on that, you can go for submitting your own DPR. You can customize that one, and then you can modify it and then submit your DPR. And what are the incubation centers so far approved and appraised? Those details you can get from here also. Like if you select any one state, what are the incubation center? Andhra, so far only one incubation center approved, and the details of that incubation center you can get from here. So how many incubation sanctioned so far, what is the fund allocated, all these details. And this is the most important link here, that is the training material or ODOP material. Suppose you select, I mentioned already that 9 domains. If you select these fruits and vegetables, you can see here lot of ODOP products are uploaded here. See, tomato ketchup is there. So once you click on this particular product, then you will get all this PowerPoint presentation, demonstration video. You can see in different languages, and packaging and safety aspects, course material, model DPR, everything. You can download it freely by giving your phone number as well as your email address. You can download. That is just to make us how many people are accessing this video. Just to have a count only, we are using that one. Then this is the ODOP webinar materials. Whatever webinars we are conducting through this ODOP Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, under that banner, that ODOP webinar recorded materials we will be uploading here. And then all the scheme guidelines and whatever training so far conducted, all the reports, everything you can avail from our website. So please make use of this website, and you download your required training materials as well as DPRs, and for any further doubts, you can visit these websites also, IFPT website or Ministry of Food Processing Industries website. And we will be always there to guide you, to support you, so that through this scheme, we can make our country as the food factory of the world. So request everybody to make use of this scheme. This is a wonderful scheme through which even the individuals as well as the group beneficiaries will get a lot of improvement in their existing, as well as those who wanted to start a new venture. They can also please avail this scheme benefits. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for providing us insights about the PMFME scheme. Now, we'll move to our next technical talk, which is on FSSAI licensing and registration. For this talk, we have with us Shri Subburaj M. Sir. We welcome you, sir.
Yes, good afternoon, everybody. So, my sincere thanks to Dr. Ananda Ramakrishnan, Director IFP, and Indian Institute of Food Processing Technology, and the Honorable Chief Guest Srinivasa Murthy, and the participants and all. Yes, my topic is Food Safety and Standards Authority of India License and Registration. That is the FSSAI license and registration. I am going to discuss with this one little bit elaborate. So, Food Safety and Standards Authority of India is the apex body and regulator in our country. So, for doing any food business, the license or registration is mandatory. In Section 31 of FSS Act, it clearly told that no person shall commence or carry on any business except under a license or registration. That means the food license is very important and mandatory. If you are doing the business, if you are doing any business without the license, what is the punishment? It is also clearly told that the 6 month imprisonment with a fine of 5 lakhs. If you are doing or on behalf of you, anybody they are doing, they are also punishable. What kind of business, whatever the kind of business, whether it is a manufacturer or you are going to sell or you are going to store, distributor, e-commerce or import, whatever the activities, even if you are transporting the food material from one place to another one place, you need the FSSAI license. This is very mandatory. So I am going to see the explain you the fundamental things, how you can apply for the license and all. So it may be easy for you. So for applying for this license, okay, so this what I am telling means the as per the Section 31 that this FSSAI Act, this license is very important, and if you are doing the business without license, that it may be the punishable act. So actually, if you are going for the licensing, there are 3 type of licenses are there. One is a central license, and another one is a state license. The next one is a basic registration. So basic registration is that actually our registration or licensing, it is depend on the capacity as or the turnover. If you have that more than 20 crore turnover, then you have to go for this central license. If your turnover is less than 20 crore, then you have to apply for the state license. Or your turnover is less than 12 lakhs, then you have to apply for the registration. So this is a classification of the license. There is 3 license systems are there. One is a registration, and another one is a license, and the another one is a central license. Okay. So what I am telling means, if you are going to apply for the registration, the fees is only 100 rupees. If you are going for the state license, the fees is only 3,000 to 2,000 to 5,000. It is depend on the category of the food business. If you are going for the central license, it is coming with this 7,500. If you are doing this import or export, you have to apply for the central license. Import or export or e-commerce, you have to apply for the central license. This is this category. You see this very clearly. We told that micro units, there is a registration is okay. And if your business is more than 12 lakhs to up to 20 crore, then you have to take the state license. And if your business is more than 20 crore, then you have to apply for the central license. Okay. So that means I already told that FSSAI license is very important. And whenever your premises, you have to display this FSSAI license. So the license authorities, whenever they are visiting your premises, you have to show your license. And at least for manufacturing unit, one technical person is very important. So now we have to go for how to apply for the FSSAI license. For applying for the FSSAI license, you have to go for this site. This is the main site, foscos.fssi.gov.in. This is a main, that means site. You see very carefully you have to go because of a lot of other fake sites is also there. The people are charging more and more money. So you have to just simply go for the foscos.fssi.gov.in. You see at first this is this page FLRS to Foscos. This is the basic, that is known as the direction page. You have to click here. So it is directly going to the second page, home page. So home page, you see, this is very important. Home page, you can see this screen. Here, eligibility for your food business. You can see that eligibility of food business. In there, you have to type manufacturer or storage or e-commerce. What is your eligibility? Whether you are eligible for state license or central license, you have to type the word in here. You can find out your business. And standard food products. If you are typing in the tomato, then it is there is that 8 category classification of the food category is there. So which is your product, on the basis you have to select. Which is your product, on the basis you have to select in that one. Suppose if you are going for the tomato puree, so you have to click in here tomato puree. Then immediately the 4.1 is the class. It is automatic food category. It is coming. You have to note that also, very important. And you see, when first you have to sign up. Sign up means in there your name, company name, and that user ID, email ID and mobile number. When you type in this one, then this code is coming, captcha code. You have to enter that code. Automatically, it is giving the OTP. When you are entered the OTP, you will directly enter to this system. System, this is the dashboard. In this dashboard, you can saw this one here, new registration, it is there. You have to click the new registration, and then you have to select the state, which is state. Directly, it is going to this site. So directly, it is directing here. So here you can enter your mobile number or email ID. This is only for the registration. Those who are technically not competent with the computer and other the things, the people will directly enter their mobile number in here and submit. You will get the OTP and enter the OTP and directly enter to the site. You see here, just enter the mobile number, then this captcha, then submit, then directly you will enter. This is for only the business, those who are doing less than 12 lakhs. If your business is more than 12 lakhs, you have to go for this one. That means username, password. And for username, password, you have to sign up here and put the details in there. All the documents, what are the FSSAI required documents? FSSAI is asking not more documents, only 5 documents is very important. Only just 5 documents. The first document is your Aadhaar card. The second document is the Form 9, that is also attached in there. The next one is known as that. The next one is known as just what it is called that Aadhaar card. It is very important, and then ROC, that company NOC, the copy, that is very important, and then photo of the company. These are the very basic documents we require, not more documents. If you are that importer or exporter, then you have to add this import export license code also. This is what I told, that you have to log in these details. You have to log in here. So if you are entering inside the manufacturer for tomato and the product, if you are the manufacturer, you have to click here, general manufacturer. In there is a 3 type of availability is there. In there, 3 type of column is there. The first is known as the central license, that is more than 2 metric ton. The second one is the central license, state license, that is less than 2 metric ton. That means 1 metric ton to 2 metric ton. Then the next one is a state registration. This is known as this. This is known as the general manufacturer. If you are doing this retailer or tomato, any other business, retailer or trader, you have to click here and you will get the details. If you are doing the importer, if you are planning to import the things, you have to click here and apply for this one. If you are the exporter, you have to click here. And if you are doing the e-commerce, you have to click here and proceed further. So in here, that's earlier I told that the food category, you have to select this one. On the basis of this one, you have to select the food category and then kind of business, manufacturer or whatever it may be, and add and save these things. Okay, this is a modification. If it is you would like to modify the license, you can put here as the modification of the license. So when you are entering in there, this is the company name and address and a GST PAN. Actually, earlier we used FLRS. Now it is Foscos. It is planning to link to the GST and PAN number and the CAN. These are the details we needed. And what is the state you have to, which state? These things you have to fill. And then upload these documents. That means I already told that Aadhaar card and all other documents on the basis of the kind of business wise, you have to select and you have to upload. Okay. So this, moreover, you see, this is that some of the people, the FSM is there. That means Food Safety Mitra scheme. If you are giving to the Food Safety Mitra people, they are the nominal charges, only 100 rupees only they are charging. So they can help you to do the things, and they have to write this their number, post-tax certificate number, or the numbers they have to mention in there. Then it is going to. These are the useful links for these are the useful links for apply for this one. So if eligibility criteria, if you are clicking this link, you will get this. What is your eligibility? Whether you are applying for the state license or not. Suppose if you are the standard product. Suppose if you are mixing something with what it is called the tomato. So standard product list is there. You have to click here. Then you can go for this pickle. If you are adding something in the standard product in this link, if you are going, then directly you can get this standards. What is the standard? It is available. You can get all the things, whatever the food products it is there. Nearly you see we have the 100 food categories. Recently we are added now that surface treated fruits and all other things, 4.1 we added. It is continuously improving. So whatever the standards or whatever the products, you can search in this standard product list. It is in the main page of this food safety Foscos, it is available. And then what are the standards? Earlier, the madam told that TSS and that acidity, all the standards you can get it here. Tomato puree, what is the standards? You can get it from here. That is that useful link for us. And these are the very important documents. You see, I already told that these are the important documents. First document is for getting the FSSAI license. These are the 5 important documents. This is mandatory. Just you have to go for this. Very simple documents only. First is a list of directors. Who is involved in this director? You have to prepare the name, address, mobile number, and email ID. These are the 4 information we needed in the column wise. Just make in a blank paper or company letterhead and put who is the director name and what is his designation and address and then email ID and the contact number. Preferably if photo is there, you have to fix the photos and put your signature. Then it is looking wonderful. The next one is a photo ID card. That is Aadhaar card, a driving license, or passport, whatever it is there, you have to upload. The next one is the proof of possession of the premises. That is, even we are taking this electricity bill or rental agreement or sales deed, that is okay. If you are the company, I need the ROC copy or MOA. This is very important. And the 5th one is the Form 9 nomination form. There is a nomination. That is also when you are applying for that, in there itself it is available. So you can take it from there itself. Importer, I already told that. IE code, that means DGFT code is very important. Export, that is also the DGFT code only, but we need one declaration. Recall plan, it is also available. Some of the businesses recall plan is very important. Just to type in the Google recall plan, FSSAI, you will get this model format, fill and upload. These are the very simple documents FSSAI required. So you can get the license within, if it is a registration, within 7 days. If it is a license, within 30 days, it must be available, the licenses. So these are the very vital things for you. I think this is much more sufficient. So I think this PowerPoint is much more, people are satisfied with these things. So thank you very much for the IIP for giving me the great opportunity to interact with the people. On behalf of FSSAI, I give the sincere thanks to each and everyone. All the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, we'll move to the next technical session. For that, I would like to invite Dr. S. Anand Kumar, sir. He is the Assistant Professor of Food Processing Engineering and Head in charge of Department of Food Packaging and System Development at Indian Institute of Food Processing Technology, Thanjavur. I request you to kindly share your screen.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Silki Datta. So I take this opportunity to thank our chairman of this committee, Baura sir, and that earlier speaker, Subrajin sir. So in this session, I'm going to cover what are the recent packaging methods or materials which will be used for tomato as well as for the tomato products. So here when we come to packaging, so whenever we take any value-added product, it can be easily affected by our environmental factors, even if you take some physical environments. So even sometimes that human factors also which will cause us damages. So the packaging material what we are selecting, so that has to protect our value-added products. For example, if you take tomato, sometimes you are taking a fresh commodity, it can be damaged during the transportation also. If you take a value-added products, for examples like a tomato powder or tomato puree ketchup, so that can be easily affected by that microorganisms. So the packaging material not only which will cover the material, also which will protect the product quality during that storage period until it is consumed by the consumers. Nowadays, considering the importance of packaging, there are many advantages are coming in the market. For example, convenient packaging materials, resellable packaging material, tetra packaging material, aseptic packaging materials. So like that, different methods are as well as the materials are used in the industry. And even sometimes if you see the people nowadays, they are looking for sustainable packaging material, which will make environmental friendly and also the material cost will be lower. So those things are nowadays giving more importance when the people are selecting the packaging material for the processed food items. When we take the tomato, starting from the farm to the processing center, particularly we will have that presentation in two different categories. One is for the fresh tomatoes packaging solutions and another one is for the processed food items from the tomato based products. So here, if you take the starting from the harvesting to the market, if you take that fresh tomato, which can be affected by different parameters. For example, even in the field itself, applying that pesticide, otherwise in the sorting or grading, otherwise when it is coming to the pack house, again that based on the size, the sorting can be done. The types of packaging, either you are going for retail packaging, otherwise it can be a bulk packaging. So it can be categorized in different ways according to the fulfillment of the consumer demands. So in such a case, the temperature difference will be the one of the parameters, or the relative humidity of that commodity storage will be different things. So these are all the parameters normally which will cause a stress to the products. For example, if you take that thermal stress, field heat, that will also which will cause us softening of the product, which will support that decay process. And as well as if you come to that storage goodowns, due to the respiration physiological changes which will cause us the production of that ethylene and other gases. So in such a case, particularly for the perishable commodity, we should be we should take much more care, particularly on the storage temperature, that handling practices and the packaging material what we are selecting. These are all the things very much important. And if you take that pack house, so normally nowadays the fresh tomatoes, after collecting the tomatoes from the farmer's field, it will be taken to the pack house. There they are doing different kinds of packaging. For examples, that retail packaging. So the retail packaging, it is available even starting from 250 grams to 5 kg packet, it is available. Otherwise, if you see that bulk packaging, it can be stored in plastic crates, for example, 10 kg or 15 kg, and it can be stored in the cold storage houses. So in such a case, before taking to the pack house, there are different unit operations are involved in the processing of the tomato, which may include that receiving assessment of that maturity, and also if you take that sorting and grading, as well as if you take some of the commodities, it needed that vaccine treatment. Otherwise, in tomato, if you take that cleaning and washing, and as well as packing in a particular packaging materials, and keeping in the corrugated food box, otherwise that plastic crates, all these things are major unit operations for the fresh tomatoes. Even if you take that sorting of this tomato, it can be done by on the weight basis, otherwise it can be done by the color sorting machines, and as well as if it can be sorted out by the size based. So like that, different the sorting machines or the grading machines are used in the packhouse. Even under this PMFME scheme, anybody wants to start a packhouse for that tomato. So that will also comes under that PMFME scheme with the 35 lakhs of that investment, capital investment. You can develop a pack house for the fresh tomatoes, and you can sell it in the local market, and as well as for the other state also you can export it. So if you see the major equipments which will be used in the packhouse, normally that washers. So nowadays they are using that bubble washers. Otherwise, you can see that that is spraying methods. Different types of washers also available with a different capacity, sorting tables, blowers, and a drying unit. So these are all the things are a minimum requirement for the packhouse. So in such a case, even there are different pack houses are available per day. It can pack the product 1 ton to 2 ton up to 5 ton capacity. You can develop a pack house with in this PMFME scheme. And another thing, when we come to that types of packaging, normally we have 3 different categories. One is that primary, secondary, and tertiary packaging. So normally that primary packaging will have direct contact with the food items. Secondary and transit packaging, particularly used for that transportation and handling purposes. And here we have one is that retail packaging and as well as the bulk packaging. For examples, if packaging size, if it is smaller. So for example, the tomato can be packed in plastic crates or the corrugated boxes having the capacity 15 kg to 25 kg. Otherwise, if it is converted into processed food items, when it is taking for the packaging, so sometimes that metal drums or plastic containers are used for packing this tomato ketchup or puree, these type of things. Bigger transit packaging methods are used. And if you see that the packaging materials used in the farm level as well as in the pack house, so they are using that wooden boxes. Normally, if you see these wooden boxes, it is environmental friendly. Sometimes the disadvantages, if you see the weight of that wooden boxes, it will be little higher, and also it will occupy that larger space, that empty boxes which will occupy the larger space. Even sometimes if there is any sharp edges in the wooden boxes, that will cause damages to the shaft tissue of that tomatoes. So to overcome this, nowadays they are using that corrugated boxes. Even these corrugated boxes, it is available with different forms. So normally for the farm users, they are using regular slotted box, and also that fruits. It can be based on the number of fruits. It can be a single wall or double wall corrugated box with a proper ventilation. They are using it for keeping that fresh tomatoes. Otherwise, you can use this type of that casket based. So here it can be stored in the display box where that retail shops are available. There you can use this type of boxes. Otherwise, if it is a processed food items, if you want to convert, so in such a case, that regular slotted box with the cover. So this can be used for canned products, otherwise any packaged product. So this can be used as a secondary packaging material. Sometimes to avoid that moisture absorptions of that craft paper, so outside will be lined with the LDP or PP covers, so that it can be act as a moisture proof material. And apart from that, the plastic crates are used. So it is also available with a different capacity, such as 15 kg or 25 kg capacity of that plastic crates are available. Even you can see that foldable plastic crates are available, so that you can occupy these foldable crates, which can occupy a lesser space when it is in a empty. And also these plastic crates are UV stabilized material, and also it has the durability, and it can't be damaged in a shorter period. So long life period, that plastic crates are also available. And considering that retail packaging, APIDA has given standards for this cherry tomatoes. Normally, these cherry tomatoes are packed in small packets like 250 grams or 1 kg or 2 kg packet. So this can be packed in different packaging method. Either it can be a punnet type of packaging material, like a rigid plastic containers can be used for packaging of tomato with perforations. And apart from that, they are using EPS, that polystyrene, expanded polystyrene foamed materials they are using along with the shrink packing method. So this type of packaging methods, it can be used for packing of the cherry tomatoes. So normally these cherry tomatoes can be stayed in open atmosphere for 3 days, but you can use this type of packaging material. It can be extended for 1 week to 2 weeks period. And another thing, if you see nowadays, the modified atmosphere packaging also used in the packaging of tomato. So as Bhuneshwari madam said, different maturity stages. So that, for example, that green tomatoes are always the fifth stage of tomatoes, where that red color turning will be taking place. So this type of tomatoes, when we go for this modified packaging, modified atmosphere packaging, and as well as if you keep it in the cold storage conditions at 4 degrees centigrade to 10 degrees centigrade with the relative humidity above 90%. So you can extend the shelf life of that tomato for 1 month period also. So like that, bigger store, a pack house along with the cold storage system also, you can think of it under this PMFME scheme. Normally, if you see the capacity of 1 ton cold storage godown, if you want to construct that, cost of that cold storage system will be a cost about 4.5 lakhs to 5 lakhs. And apart from that, if you have that sorting, grading machines, and as well as different packing unit, definitely you can make in 25 lakhs rupees one small pack house. So that can easily fit into the PMFME scheme. Another thing, you can see that vacuum packaging. So in this vacuum packaging, normally the available oxygen around the commodity, which will causes the physiological changes. So whenever you are removing this air which is present in the package by using this vacuum machine, single head vacuum machines or double head vacuum machine for a bigger capacity, so that can be vacuumized, particularly if you see this hybrid variety. So it is more rigid in nature. And this type of commodity, when you pack it by using this vacuum packaging, still you can extend the shelf life of the products. So that is another thing. And also, if you see, there are tray forming the machines are also available. For example, that punnet type of packaging, you can pack in plastic crates or that plastic trays. So this will have that capacity like 250 grams or 500 grams or 1 kg packet. You can make it out. So the cost of the machine, if you see, it can be varying from some 65,000 to 85,000 ranges according to the number of the slots. So whenever you have 1 or 2 slots, that cost of that machine will be lesser. The same machine in a single punch, you can have more number of packets. So that at that time, that cost will be increasing. Apart from that, there are shrink wrapping machines also available. So in this shrink wrapping, so particularly if you take this type of EPS tray, ethylene expanded polystyrene, or that paper bulb board along with the shrink wrapping machines. So you can have that fresh commodity, you can sell it in the local market or in the retail shop, and even it can be stored in the refrigerated conditions. You can extend the life period for 1 week period in the refrigerated condition. So for that, they are using that paper pulp board or that EPS tray along with the LDP or linear low density packaging material as a covering material, so that you can extend the life of the product. when we come to the processed food items, we are having different types of products like tomato ketchup, paste, or puree, or powder, or flakes. So there are different packaging materials are used in the processed food items. Here, one thing is that canning is the one of the options. For example, it is a self-stable product. So normally that canned puree or canned ketchup, you can keep it in the open atmosphere. This tomato ketchup will have that acidity in value. So normally to pack this type of tomato ketchup or brine tomato, so normally the double coated lacquered can material, tin can material, otherwise ECCS, electrolytic chromium coated tin materials are highly used for this tomato product. And this will can be available in two different cans. For example, 2-piece cans or 3-piece cans. So according to the consumer, the demand or capacity, you can use any one of the can materials. And apart from that, whenever you want to start that canning industries, these are all the major equipments needed for that canning industries, like a can body reformer, flanger equipment, embossing equipment, exhausting equipment, beater, okay, double simmer. So these are all the equipments, and all these equipments, the cost will be varying from 1.5 lakhs to maximum 5 to 7 lakhs rupees. So in such a case, if you want to set up one canning industries for this tomato puree or ketchup, so that is also, it can be easily possible under this PMFME scheme. So even this type of product, no need of refrigeration, so you can store it in the open atmosphere. So when we come for this canned product, either it can be metal cans or retard pouches. So IIPT has developed a unique technology like an on-farm processing unit. So sometimes you can see in the Gulf production, the people will throw the tomatoes in the roadside also. So in such a case, this tomato processing vehicle, it can be directly directly reaching the farmer's field. So there itself, it will collect the tomatoes, it can process it, and it can give it in a pouch form or metal can forms, like our ambulance, how it is working in the emergency period. So similarly, this vehicle also on a phone call, it can reach your farmer's field, it can be solve your problem. So according to that Tamil Nadu government, IAPT has developed 5 vehicles for mobile processing unit. Maybe one of our experienced clients, the farmers producer organization, they will give you his experience on this usage of this mobile processing unit. So in this mobile processing unit, we have a complete processing equipment starting from washing, cleaning, grading to the pulping unit, blanching unit, autoclave system, as well as that double wall jacketed concentrated evaporator. Even if you see that carking unit, all these things are available in a single house. And by using this mobile processing unit per day, we can process about 150 kg to 250 kg of that tomato puree, because normally we are using two different varieties. One is that hybrid varieties as well as that country varieties. So in such a case, where the materials are having more juiciness, so there we the concentration time which will be take a longer time, so that the capacity for production will be lesser. But when we take this hybrid variety, so you can process a larger quantity of tomato per day. So here you can see how the processing can be done in the field. So this demonstration video also in the beginning they have shown. So initially, once we collect that tomatoes from the farmers, that sorting and damaged tomato can be removed, and that fully ripened tomato can be taken out for the processing area. So initially, it will taken to the first blanching area. So we are softening the product. So after blanching, we are transferring that blanched tomatoes in the pulper. So where we can get the juice material separately, as well as the seed can be separated. And after that, collecting that tomato juice, it will be transferred to the evaporator unit, where it is double jacketed evaporator systems are used for evaporations. And it is connect. The steam can be connected. We have that boiler unit separately. So from the boiler unit, that steam will be supplied. So we are according to that ketchup and puree, as Dr. Hema madam said. So that 25 degree or 12 degree, that concentration we can bring down. So after concentration, so it can be filled in the bottles or metal cans, and after that, that corking can be done, and autoclave, that sterilization also can be done. And after sterilization, you can have that air cooling. if it is a metal can, you can go for that water cooling. So we have that water cooling system also. So in a one single house, you can complete all the unit operations. So per hour, you can produce about 30 to 40 kg of that product. So per day, you can produce some 250 kg of that tomato. So this type of things which will be supporting that the farmers, producers also, even they can start working on the value added product by using this type of available technologies. And another thing, when we take that tomato juice or puree, we have different filling machines. For example, that single lead pneumatic filling machine, otherwise pedal operated pneumatic filling machines. Either you can pack it in your pouches or glass bottle, otherwise that form fill sealing machines are available. So by using this machine, continuous pouches can be filled, and this machine cost will be varying from 3.5 lakhs to 7 lakhs rupees. And these are all the machine cost will be varying from 1.5 to 2.5 lakhs rupees. So definitely it can support that small and medium entrepreneurs to start the industries on these things. And another thing, see, there is a different sealing machines are available. So here you can see that one is that spout filling machines, and another one is called that band sealer. So normally the spout filling machines, so it is also available in semi-automatic and continuous operation mode. So here, if you prepare any tomato ketchup or tomato puree, so initially that inert gases will be filled, so that pouch will be open. After that, the product will be filled and the corking can be done. So like that, this type of aseptic packaging conditions when you make the product, so this type of products can be sold in the market. Nowadays, you can see that ready to eat, ready to cook products are coming in the market. So in such a case, this type of pouch packing machines are used. And similarly, these band sealer machines, for example, that dried tomato flakes, otherwise even in case of that stand-up pouches, for example, tomato puree or paste. So this type of machines also can be used for packing this type of products. Another thing, you can see that bag in box method, it is also coming in a bigger way. For example, to avoid the rigid containers in a bulk packaging, they are using this bag in box method. So it is having that the pouch method, spout, and as well as that rigid cotton boxes. So in such a case, by using a serial connections, you can connect so many pouches, and again you can develop from the pulp tomato juice or diluted any product can be make it out by using this bag in box method. And another thing which will be called aseptic packaging. So when we say that aseptic packaging, a sterilized product will be packed in a sterilized packaging material under the sterilized environment, which will be called aseptic packaging. Either it can be a bulk packaging, otherwise you can see such a tetra packaging method. So both the things it can be done in aseptic conditions. So normally, sometimes when we go for aseptic packaging, you can use this UHT process, ultra high temperature processing method, for packing this type of tetra packed tomato sauce and tomato ketchup or puree based material. And another thing which will be a dried tomatoes. Here we have two categories. One is the flakes, otherwise it can be a tomato powder. So when you want to pack this tomato powder, you can use this form fill sealing machine with the auger type. Otherwise, if you want to use this flaked machine, then you can use that form fill sealing machine with the cup filling method. Otherwise, a smaller capacity, when you want to use it, you can use this auger type machine. Either it can be a adjustable type. Otherwise, even if you want to use a double end, for example, making something like a pellets, okay, powder, tomato powder pellets, something you want to make such in such a case, this type of flow filling machines are used for this type of pellet products. And another thing, whenever you go for this powdered product packaging, so normally these powdered products are hygroscopic in nature. It will absorb that moisture very quickly. So in such a case, normally laminated pouches, otherwise metallized laminated pouches are highly used. Nowadays, that government says that packaging materials used for these food items above 50 micron. So in such a case, when you select that packaging material, which will have lower water vapor permeability and lower in gas transmission rate. So this type of products normally which will support you for this dried product. And sometimes if you want to maintain the color values, so your packaging material should not allow the light to enter into the product. So in such a case, if you select that UV stabilized packaging material where the light cannot be entered, so this type of pouch materials, otherwise you can see the resealable pouch materials. After that opening also you can keep it for the longer period. So this type of packaging material definitely which will support you for the dried tomato products like flakes and powdered material. And also nowadays the peoples are mainly considering the sustainable packaging materials. So wherever you can use that paper-based material like craft paper or parchment paper, otherwise you can see what is that wax paper. So this type of products also you can use it for the value-added product which can be developed from the tomato-based products. And at the last, that labeling. So whenever nowadays the peoples are consumers are very much interested in selecting the food items before selecting, they much very much interested in seeing the content of the product. So either it has that any allergic effect, otherwise it is sufficiently fulfilling that nutrition requirement. So in such a case, whenever you are selecting such a labels, so you can see that the FSSAI website, as supervisor also explained. So if you select the FSSAI website, there if you see the category that 2.3 fruits and vegetable products, so they're given what are the standards to be followed for the processed food items, particularly fruits and vegetables. So there they given what are the different types of recommended additives can be added or preservatives can be added, what type of that packaging materials can be used for a particular product like a powdered product, jam, jelly, or a canned product. So in such a case, the types of the specifications also given. So by taking those specifications, you can contact the particular suppliers or manufacturers. They will supply a particular packaging material for you. So even if you have any doubts on selection of those packaging materials, even you can contact us, our IIPT team, otherwise any state agriculture universities or otherwise that national institutions, ICR, they will also support you or guiding you in a proper selection of that packaging materials. So in general, if you see that FSSAI, so here I have taken for the tomato ketchup, FSSAI has given the standards. For example, normally the tomato ketchup will have the acidity value. So they are telling the acidity should not be exceed 0.5 percentage. And also if you see that total soluble solid, it should be a 25%. And also if you see that microbial load, so that also they are given that yeast and the total plate count, it should not be not more than 10,000, otherwise that is sports 125 per 60 cm. So these are all the things it has been given in FSSAI, not only for the tomato ketchup, similarly for other commodity developed from the tomato-based products. And regarding that consumer point of view, these are all the label requirement you have to give, starting from name of the product, batch number, net weight, FSSAI license number, MRP price, customer care details, that preservatives, additives, what you have added, and also any processing methods to be followed before consumption of the product. Those details it has to be given. So in such a case, when you follow the regulations as per the FSSAI as well as the BIS standards of developing the packaging material, so definitely your product, it can be sustainable in the market. So with that, I thank the organizer for giving this opportunity. If there is any questions, we can support you in the questionnaire round. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for providing such an informative session. Now we'll move to our next speaker. So our next technical talk, it is on detailed project report preparation on tomato processing. For this, we have with us Ms. Tanisha Dixit. We welcome you, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. So today's session, this is on a detailed project report for tomato processing. I'll be taking you through the various components of detailed project report with respect to the ODOP, tomato processing unit. Starting with what is basically a detailed project report and why it is used. The finances, financial agencies, and various government bodies, they ask for detailed project report for submission is because it is a basic fundamental document that is required to have all your planning and all your projections in a systematic format. So the banks and the venture capital firms, they ask for a viable business plan. So viability means you should be able to run that business, and feasibility means the business itself has the like it is not loss-making business. That is the called feasibility business. So feasibility is measured in terms of two components. First is market feasibility, and second is financial feasibility. I'll take you through its components in coming slides. So, and the two great benefits of preparing a DPR, whether it is asked from you or not, is you'll be able to think through the ideas or what you're planning without putting too much of the money into them. You can plan phase wise how much you should invest in your business. And finally, it will outline all your projections for the next 5 to 7 years. So you're not blindfolded for the futuristic perspective of how much money you will be required for taking that idea or that opportunity, that business to the next level. So I'll come to the tomato processing unit, which is the focus discussion of today's program. So tomato processing unit is the very common product across various parts of India like Andhra Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh. These are the tomato growing states, as you can see, Karnataka, Gujarat, Odisha, West Bengal, Telangana, Chhattisgarh, Maharashtra, and Bihar. So adequate surplus are available. So raw material will not be a problem. That is the one of the key components to understand that the raw material availability should not be a problem. And the establishment and expansion of tomato processing units is a very attractive opportunity that can be taken up by the new or existing entrepreneurs. And it has got a various huge scope and profitability ratio for value addition and a huge market demand. So while starting with the preparation of TPR, the basic assumptions have to be kept in mind. This is the very important step of starting to prepare any detailed project report on any product. So be it a new unit or an existing unit, the very first assumption is required is what is the target installed capacity. So are you targeting at say 1000 kg per annum, or what is your exact scale of operation that you are planning? Is it a very small unit or is it an expansion of a current unit? So how much expansion? 50%, 100%. So exact installation capacity is required to be clear with the founder or the promoter. The unit is generally assumed to operate for 300 days per annum, counting 52 Sundays and some holidays. Seeing to minimum 300 days, why we are counting? Because a business has to run sustainably. So you are required to at least run it for 300 days so that you can earn good amount of sales and you can produce, you can use the machines that you have invested in to at least for a 300 days. Some business cycles have 365 days. For example, dairy products and dairy business, there you cannot leave it for a single day because it is a daily perishable product. So for perishable commodities which are used for daily consumption, there you can assume 365 days. For food products wherein the perishability is not that much a problem, there you can have somewhere around 250 to 300 days. That can be assumed. And then you can decide the shifts also, whether you want in 2 shifts, single shift. Single shift can be counted as 8 hours to 10 hours. So this assumption is again required for calculation. For a new unit, generally it is assumed that the first year will take for the construction or expansion of the project. It will at least take 6 months to have your building in place, get all the machineries from suppliers and get proper quotation. You will be analyzing them across and all those things. So it will take at least 6 months time to establish and then another 6 months to finally start working on your project or start, you can say, commercialization or production. So you can assume 6 months also, you can assume 1 year also. How ready you are, it depends on that. Second year, you can have no plant starts at 100 capacity from the very second year. So you can start from 70%, 80%, how much you foresee your production and how much you foresee your sales, how much you will be able to sell in market. That's why we ask promoters to conduct a survey kind of a thing before jumping into any business, so that you understand how much you will be able to sell per year. So as per that, you can decide 70%, 60%. Below 50%, I would not recommend, because then you are only underutilizing your investment and the depreciation will be very fast. Once you buy any machine, its value starts depreciating. You know that for vehicles also, if you will buy, nothing will be sold at the same price. It starts depreciating, the building, the machineries, everything. So you are depreciating it, and at the same time, you are only partially utilizing it. So that is definitely a loss-making idea. So better you come up with those processing lines or machines which you think you will be able to at least utilize 70 to 80%. Some assumptions again, the basic raw material prices, you generally know regional what is the raw material prices, and it will depend on the location of your business also. So then average sale prices. So here we are taking like tomato ketchup. So what is the MRP that you can take in your assumption, and then recovery rate. So technically 65% of the final ketchup per kg of tomato comes. So this is, you can technically check, some of the DPRs are already there. Some you can technically check like what is the recovery rate of any product that you are making. So that will help in further calculations. So with those assumptions, this is the basic layout of the DPR. Having at the very initial, you will have 1 or 2 page project at a glance. So the banker is required to have a basic glance of what you have come up with, how much money you are going to invest, and the basics of the project in first 2 pages, like the executive summary. It's like the executive summary of your DPR. So that is at the very first starting of your project report. This will be there. Then what market studies you have done, how much do you know about the market? This all will come in market potential. So it will cover national market, regional market, what are current players in that. So percentage of sales that you will be catering to. And if the market is niche, like a specific target population you are aiming at, then what is that? How much will they pay for that, your product? So all these components, your preparedness and your readiness to market your product will come in market potential, and how much you understand about your market. Third will come technical feasibility. To see, the banker here will see that you know about the basic process flow chart, the basic machinery required, the main machinery required, we can say. Then you understand the scale of operations. So if you are planning for a small scale unit, then your machineries are also required to be at par with what you are planning to. So that gets highlighted here in the technical feasibility. And you will also understand what are the different licensing required, space requirements, then process requirements. All these things you will understand while preparing this technical feasibility. This is very important for those products, especially where you are bringing up any innovation in the product, because then you are required to pilot test also. You are coming up with some new product, some what we can say proprietary products. So you are required to have a basic pilot testing and our consumers, like, is it technically feasible to produce that? Or it will be a product failure. To avoid the product failure, this technical feasibility is done. Then comes next is financial calculation projections, wherein all those assumptions that we made, on the basis of that and the machines here decided. So on the basis of technical feasibility and the assumptions made, you will start calculating the basic finances, like how much is the initial requirement, how much is the annual requirement, recurring cost, we call that. So how much is that, and then how much the business will earn and give you back so that you can reinvest in it. If you are taking loan, then how much will go in that? All those things will be calculated in this financial calculations and project. And it will tell the strength of your proposition. How strong is your project, we can say, that can be established with this section of the project report. Then comes overall project feasibility. wherein it will be a summary of what all technical, financial, and market, all these three combined, you will be projecting your what is the feasibility, how feasible is it. This is a viable project. It will give me a good amount of profits and sustainability. Both are required. So all these things will be covered in this. And finally, implementation schedule and related tables which you are using in the entire step. So this is a project at a glance. Here you can see, so for example, for tomato processing unit, here you'll be deciding which type of company you are going to establish, each having different advantages and disadvantages. You can refer to that. So proprietorship, company, partnership, private limited company means private limited company or section 25, any. Then proposed project capacity. So here, as per the assumption, you will take here. Then raw material is same, major product outputs is. Then total project cost. So here, generally, so for existing businesses, land is already available with there. It is assumed that land is already available. So minor development and minor civil works will be there. That's why only 2 lakh has been kept. Then machinery, equipments, that is as per the technical feasibility you have calculated. So all those list of machineries table you will prepare. So from that you will understand that, okay, 18 lakhs I require to put in the machineries. Utilities include power and water requirements. So basic connections, taking and all these things. That is the one-time cost. Please note that all these costs are the one-time cost. These are not the recurring cost. Then miscellaneous fixed assets, the fixtures and the pipelines and all those things. There are multiple fixed assets which will come along with the machinery and equipments that are required to be purchased. So all those things will come here, miscellaneous fixed assets. Then pre-operative. So pre-operative expenses, these are generally clubbed as preliminary and pre-operative expenses, which you are required to register it. You are required to have various permissions. Then basic, what we can say, basic licensing is required. So all these small expenses will compose and will be taken care of by these are all one-time expenses. You're not going to spend it every year. This is the initial cost which is required before setting up of your business. So this is what we can say preparatory expenses. So this will come in pre-operative and preliminary expenses. Then contingencies. So for safer side, because while preparing a DPR, we always consider the pessimistic approach. Like due to some change in economic scenario, due to some any trade related changes. So there may be changes in the cost of machinery which you had thought and now it will change. So some contingency you need to keep so that you never exceed the project cost that you are proposing to the banker or the financer. So for that sake, contingencies are kept, and then the working capital margin. So now working capital is the one which is recurring. So because this is a new business, so you might require at the initial stage some support to at least start and have some basic raw material, then work in progress and packaging and all these basic expenses. So working capital margin is the 25% of the annual requirement in the working capital. So this, you can see working capital requirement in the second year will be this, third year like this. This is the detailing. So total project cost, this 30 lakh is composed of only these. These are the components of it. Nothing else will be coming in. Then there is working capital requirement that will be separately, you will be calculating just to understand how much is the annual recurring cost for running the business. The basic importance of calculating the working capital requirement is that you should not at any point in time should face the cash crunch, we say, which is one of the most common factor for, you can say, failure, or we can say not reaching the profits, optimum profits, or you're earning profits but you're not knowing that where are my profits going, because your business working capital is increasing to such a rate that all your profits are getting consumed by the business itself. So you are required to have a proper planning of what is the annual maximum working capital that can be required if I operate at such and such capacities. So that's why this calculation is really very important. Then means of finance. So this may change by the time you start, because initially you might have thought that, okay, I will use this much minimum contribution, this much, then term loans I'll take. And later on you might get some good grants or something, then you can change this. But we suggest that it is required to be fixed. So like for this scheme, if you're applying, so here subsidy you can have maximum 10 lakhs you can have as per the PMP scheme. Then promoter contribution is required. Minimum 10% it should be there. Here we kept 20. And the term loan for the remaining. So this is the means of finance. So the banker is aware of like how you are going to get the funds for running this business. Then debt equity ratio. So this is like how much is the debt, that is the loan, and how much is the equity, that is from your side. So this ratio. So this is the standards, and as per standards, the minimum requirement is there, and you can just check that. Then this is profit after depreciation. So depreciation, as I was talking, so that is also calculated, interest and tax. All these things are calculated in the profitability sheet. So as per that, your profit, what is the profit after projected depreciation, interest and tax will come. So that is also calculated. And then all these are ratios. And then what is the payback period? So by what time you will be able to pay back for the investment? This is the investment. So by what time you will be able to pay this amount back? So that is also calculated. This gives a clarity to the banker that, okay, this much is the time. So total loan you have taken about 7 years with 1 year moratorium or bank holiday or grace period. And 3 years you will be able to pay this back. So this is a clear picture of what project you have proposed and how strong is it and how much clarity you have as a promoter about your own project. This is the capital investment. So here I was talking like that much detailing you should do in machineries and equipments. What is the list of equipments? Individual capacities. So this is as per the annual planned capacity, power requirements. So all these things, you can check various already available DPRs. So that can be referred to for the technical specification of the equipments. Further, you can cross-check with some suppliers in your region. They will provide you the basic details. You can ask quotations from them of the plant capacity, and they will provide these such equipment detailing. Then how much, so this square feet required will tell you the entire plant layout when you will prepare. In that, how much square feet is covered by the machine itself, and then you will calculate other areas, quantity and the individual amounts. So quantity, why I'm keeping like some of the equipments are there which are small in capacity. So we keep 2. So like that, here quantity also is mentioned. So this is the entire machineries and equipment chart wherein the total will come up to you. And so this is as in the previous slide, we calculated the total fixed capital investment. This I was talking about the working capital requirement. So this is how it is calculated. So it will be composed of raw material stock. So stock means it depends on the perishability of your product. So for example, if it is a very raw product or say dairy product or something, then this period will reduce. This is, we are talking about fruits and vegetables. So tomato in particular. So that means 7 days can be there. So raw material stock you can keep up to 7 days. Then work in progress. So you will be processing it. You will be preparing multiple products out of it. So it takes time. So it will be there at your premises for a specific period of time. So that product cycle is this. So how much, for how long it will be there in the various machines or various stores, all these things. So this is 15 days. Then packing material. What will packing material will be required? How much will be stocked? Or how? So this is the inventory. For 15 days packing material you will keep, or 7 days you will keep, or 21 days, how much you want to keep. So here perishability is not an issue. Here the availability is required. So this is basic purely on your plan and assumption, like how much do you want and how frequently do you want to order. Then finished goods stocks, like after production, by what time it will be able to sell. So 15 days stock you will keep, so that as per the order cycle. So this is the assumptions. All these red marked are the assumptions. Receivable means once you have sold, so within 30 days you will be getting the payment. So that is still in the market. Your money is still in the market. You have not received it. So for 30 days, you have not received it. So that also you need to calculate. Like it has not yet come. Then working expenses. So this is the assumptions, and as per that, we will calculate for entire year. So 7 days you are keeping. So this is the way you are on the basis of the percentage capacity utilization. So of that raw material pricing for that much capacity will give you this much for 7 days. Like this, we will calculate, and then all the current assets. Then right now we are like you will not given credit to anything. If you are planning, if you are quite sure about the order cycle and you know that how much is the credit cycle, then you can provide here the number of days and you can calculate the credits also. Otherwise, for the projections, it's not that necessary. So this will tell you the working capital gap. This is the working capital requirement, we can say, for annual basis. Now it's 25% bank will be ready to what we can say consider under the project cost. So this percentage is the generally percentage. This you can refer to various banks have various percentages specified. So this you can ask them, and this is the bank. So this is the basic working capital requirement. Then we come to the final part, that is the financial feasibility. So now here, this is the profitability analysis. At least this analysis is required to be carried out as part of the DPR. So here again, the same assumptions come. Installed capacity. Then what all are your expenditures? So your recurring expenditures will be there, including salaries, repair and maintenance, insurance, miscellaneous expenses, what all you can think about. All these you need to, it's all assumptions. Some are standard rates like raw material and packaging material cost. These are the industry rates you can put. Then other raw materials also industry rates you can, these are also industry rates, electricity and fuel. Salaries you can decide as per the market. So all these are the expenses that are being carried out for this production. So this is, then all this total will be your total expenditure. So this is, you can say, cost of production, cost of sales, or expenditure, expenses. Then total sales revenue, total sales in short, some call it turnover also. So sale of your product at the MRP, at what output it is there. So as per that, you will have a figure of this much kg tomato ketchup you will be selling multiplied by annually. So for annual basis and multiplied by the MRP. So in rupees, all these things will be in rupees only. So this will, you will get some sales figure. So how will you calculate? This is profit before depreciation, interest and tax. Means right now we have not calculated depreciation, interest and tax. It's before all this. Simply gross profit. So what is this? Total expenditure, that will come in C, and total sales revenue, that will come in D. So to minus that will be the cash inflow in short. This is the, after making this much expenses, this is the amount of cash that will be, cash in the sense money that will be inflowed into the business. Now against that, there will be a depreciation on civil works, machinery, all the fixed assets. So this is the assumed percentages. You can check with the industry and the market. This you can consider as this is from the DPRs. You can refer to some DPRs also. Then the interest on term loan, 11 to 12%. Interest on the working capital loan, 12 to 13%. So this you can check with banks. So this, if you consider and calculate. So once you reduce all these things from this PBDIT or the cash inflow, what you will get is profit after depreciation, or in short, we tell it profit after tax. profit after depreciation and interest, reduce 18% tax, and you will get profit after depreciation, interest and tax. So this will be PAT. So this is the amount available for your repayment of loans and everything you will be paying from this. So then these are the ratios that will take all these figures from you, and then you can calculate directly in the payback period. So this is the basic financial feasibility chart. I have taken only the left side, the particulars only. Here it will come for the 5 years. So you can calculate for 5 years, 10 years, based on how much is required. So that can be calculated. So this is the overall TPR that I can say as per the components share. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for providing us insights on the detailed project reports. Now we'll be moving to the next technical talk. That is our third technical session of the day, which is on entrepreneurs experience sharing, where the people, they will share their experience. So we have with us Shri Palani, sir, the board of director of Nelikani Collective Farming Farmer Producer Company Limited, Dharampuri. Sir will going to explain about the IFPT mobile processing unit. We welcome you, sir, to share your experiences with us. Participants, sir will be sharing his experience in Tamil regional language. Further, we have with us Dr. Akalya ma'am. She will be explaining the same in English.
வணக்கம் மேடம். வேளாண்மை விற்பனை மற்றும் வேளாண் வணிகத்துறையினால் நடமாடும் தக்காளி கூழாக்கும் இயந்திரம் வழங்கப்பட்டதற்கு நன்றி. நெல்லிக்கனி கூட்டு பண்ணை உழவர் உற்பத்தியாளர் குழுவுக்கு வழங்கியதற்கு எங்களுக்கு மகிழ்ச்சி.
One second, sir. Audience, what Palani sir is telling is that he's just saying his thanks to the MPU unit that was provided to the Nelikani Farmer Producing Company.
எங்கள் நிறுவனத்துக்கு எங்கள் பகுதியில் அதிகம் தக்காளி விளைச்சல் உள்ளது. விலை வீழ்ச்சி காலத்தில் தக்காளியை விவசாயிகள் கீழே கொட்டிடுவாங்க. அப்போது நம்ம நடமாடும் தக்காளி இயந்திரத்தில் தக்காளியை மதிப்பு கூட்டி விற்பனை செய்வதற்கு விவசாயிக்கு பயனுள்ளதா இருக்கு, லாபகரமாக இருக்கு, எங்களுக்கும் லாபகரமாக உள்ளது.
What sir is telling is like in his area there is a lot of tomato production, and during the glut season farmers are throwing the tomatoes because they're not earning much from selling it. So this MPU unit is actually there as a blessing for value adding the tomato fruits, and they are actually earning good money out of it.
தக்காளி மதிப்பு கூட்டுவதற்கு தஞ்சாவூர் ஐஏபி நிறுவனத்தின் மூலம் நாங்கள் ட்ரைனிங் பெற்று நாங்கள் இப்பொழுது தக்காளி கெச்சப், பியூரி, ஜாம் ப்ரொடக்ஷன் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம் மேடம்.
Using the technology from IAFPT and having undertaken all the trainings, these days they are manufacturing ketchup, puree and jam out of the tomato that is produced in the glut season using our MPU.
Additionally, madam, நாங்க chili sauce, soya.
Additionally, with the same MPU, they are also making chili sauce and soya sauce.
இப்போ இந்த திட்டம் மேடம் எங்களுக்கு பஸ்ஸில் இருக்கு, ஏன்னா இயந்திரத்தில் இருக்குது. தனி யூனிட்டா எங்களுக்கு கொடுத்தா நல்லா இருக்கும், ஏன்னா பிக்கா செய்ய முடியும். ஏன்னா இது சுமால் டெமோ பீஸ். பிக்கா செய்யணும்னா எங்களுக்கு ஒரு தனி யூனிட்டா இருந்தால் நல்லா இருக்கும் மேடம். ஏன்னா இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் நாங்கள் வால்யூம் நல்லா பண்ணுவோம், எங்கள் நிறுவனம் நல்லா நெல்லிக்கனி நல்லா வளரும். ஏன்னா இவ்வளோ வளர்ச்சிக்கு காரணம் நம்ம தஞ்சாவூர் ஐஏபி தான். அடிஷ்னல் கவர்மெண்ட்.
Okay, sir. He is thanking the government and the IAFPT for the unit, but for the quantity they are producing and having these days, the farm produces, the mobile processing machine is not enough, he's saying actually, for the quantity what they are producing. They wanted a bigger sized unit actually.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
இப்போ நாங்கள் 1 கிலோ தக்காளி கூழாக்கணுங்கன்னா, 1 கிலோ தக்காளி கூழாக்கணும்னா நமக்கு ஜாம் இது கெச்சப் எங்களுக்கு 600 மில்லி கிடைக்குது மேடம். இந்த சார்ஜிங் போக மினிமம் லாபம் வச்சுக்கிறோம். ஒரு கிலோவுக்கு ப்ரொடக்ஷன் காஸ்ட் எல்லாம் போக லாபமாக ஒரு 3 rupees வச்சு நாங்கள் கடைக்கு சேல்ஸ் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம் லோக்கலில். இப்போ நாங்கள் எக்ஸ்போர்ட்டுக்கு பிளான் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம் மேடம்.
For making 600 ml of ketchup, he is using 1 kg of tomato and he is earning a profit of around 3 rupees for the 600 ml that he is selling in the market. Yes, sir.
ஜாமுக்கு வந்து ஒரு 10 rupees வச்சு கொடுத்துட்டு இருக்கோம் மேடம்.
For jam, they are earning a
10 rupees.
Yeah, for jam particularly, they are earning a profit of around rupees 10 using this MPU.
Puree, ketchup, jam, soya, chilies. ஒரு நாளைக்கு வந்து 100 kg.
What he's saying is like he's currently they are using this MPU and they are producing puree, ketchup, jam, soya sauce and chili sauce to about 100 kg per day. So he is nicely using the MPU, which is a self-standing unit, which has a lot of machineries that is actually standalone. For example, it has the washer, it has the pulper, it has the autoclave unit, sterilizing unit, it has the packaging unit. So when you have in glut season, when farmers are having a lot of tomato to be processed, instead of throwing them, they can use this mobile processing unit, which has all these equipments inside. They can use it and then value add the product instead of throwing them. And at least they can earn a profit of, for example, he said 3 to 10 rupees on each SKU they are producing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, sir.